Hi everybody, it's your Simmer here. So welcome to leg 17 of Walker Air Transport's NASCAR 2022 series. We're here at St. Louis and we're heading off to California. So taking a look, I think we're going to be able to do this in a 737 with the maximum auto brake set. It looks like I can land this thing in 3,500 feet. So the 6,000 foot runway should be okay. Shouldn't really be a problem. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I did try to use a general aviation aircraft. It looked like the Cessna Citation wouldn't make it, but it looked like a Learjet would. But I then was, I don't know, 2/3 of the way there. I was over Denver and was getting low fuel warnings. And from the 6,000 pounds of fuel I had, I was down to like 800 pounds. So I still had 900 of the 1,500 miles to go. I wasn't even halfway there. So clearly there was a problem. So this is now my second attempt to get this going here. But should be in decent shape. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get going with self-loading cargo.
Routes copy. Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please. You're loud and clear. 5 over 5. Okay, Captain. Radio check, please.
Alright, we're running this pretty quick here.
We're ready to start loading. Roger. Hello?
Hi, Captain. How are you?
Hi there. I'm very well, thanks.
Great. We're just preparing the cabin for the passengers. We'll speak to the terminal staff once a door is opened and find out how long they think it'll be until boarding begins.
No worries. You can open the doors whenever you're ready.
No problem.
Alright, so I want to make sure. So I think on this I do. Okay, now there is no door on this, so we're okay there. So let me load because we need to take off really fast here. So they're going to start loading in 4 minutes and loading passengers in 8. So let me get the seat belts on auto. Alright, what have we got here?
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, I've spoken to security, and I'm told they'll be ready to send the passengers down to us in a few minutes.
Okay, you're free to start boarding whenever you're ready. Let us know when you've started.
No problem.
Okay. So I'm going to get the seatbelt on so that hopefully we don't have any problem there.
Routes copy. Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Just a quick update to let you know that we've started loading. We'll contact you again once we're done. Roger.
Okay. So we're going to be cruising at 38,000. Going to get that set. I need to let them know that we're starting the APU. So I'm rushing a lot of this stuff.
We're starting the APU. Please stand by as we'll be disconnecting from ground power shortly. Roger.
Alright. Going to get this going and start this up. Alright, so we're going to have that. Again, a bit of a load. We're going to set the payload. We're going to set the fuel.
Routes copy. Go ahead. Hi there. We now are fueling the aircraft, and we'll let you know when it's completed. Roger.
Okay, well, hopefully we're not having any issue.
Routes copy.
Okay, it should hopefully be done.
Go ahead. Startup seems good. Nothing to report. Please disconnect ground power. Roger. Stand by.
Okay.
Ground power has been disconnected.
I think I've got everything set. Alright, so we're good there.
Roger. Ground to cockpit.
Goodness
Go ahead.
gracious.
Hi, Captain. Fueling system completed.
Okay, refueling
Roger.
is completed. Alright, so we're going to go departure and arrival. We're departing here. We're leaving runway 12 left. We are going to be going on the BRAC 5 departure to the HLV transition. So that should be good there. And then on the arrival, we're arriving on runway 32. Going to be doing it via SOW. So again, should be set there. Checking everything. Whoop, we got a discontinuity there. So we should be able to clear this, I think. Okay. Always get messed up with the Boeing and this. Okay. So we want to get the reference. We want to get the performance data pulled. Alright,
Cockpit to ground.
I think we're all set. Boarding should begin in a moment here.
Go ahead.
Alright. So
Disregard.
I don't need them.
Sorry. Roger.
Alright, we've got that. We don't need the N1 limit. We're going to have flaps set to 5. So that should then get all my V speeds in. Alright, so we've got some data. Let's get the flaps set. Turn this off. Okay, we're going to get ourselves set. Well, probably going to need like 5,000 to begin with, because that's usually what these departures are for, 5,000 feet. So we're going to try to follow the Beyond ATC thing. Alright, there we go. We're going to have that. We need the flight directors on. So that will get that going. Alright, let's see. Can I do anything on the PA system? Doesn't look like it. Alright. So everything should be set. It says passenger boarding is in progress. Can hear people. 3 are on board. So there we go. Let's see. Probably going to just
Hello.
tell us.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know, we've started bringing the passengers on board.
Thanks a lot.
Alright. So we're all set there. So now I'm going to want to make a PA announcement.
Good afternoon from the cockpit. This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you on board this afternoon's flight. I hope you're all well. We're currently preparing for departure up here in the cockpit, and once we're airborne, we'll be climbing to our cruise level of 38,000 feet. We hope to depart very shortly. We're not expecting any delays. Once we push back from the stand, the cabin crew will start securing the cabin. As we head to the departure runway, please make sure you're seated and secured as they make their way around the aircraft. The weather is looking good, so it should be a nice, comfortable climb up to our cruise level. Once we're airborne, there shouldn't be any issue during our climb. It's a pretty straightforward departure out of the airport, so nothing to worry about there. The wind forecast during our cruise looks very favorable, so we expect to arrive on time at our destination, but we will of course keep you up to date should there be any changes. We'll be making a departure just as soon as the ground crew finish loading the baggage into the hold of the aircraft. If you can get seated and secured with your belts on in the meantime, that will speed things up nicely. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the flight.
Alright, so it looks like we had a little bit of a problem with Beyond ATC loading for some reason, but I think we're good now. So go ahead, we'll get ATIS going.
Yeah, 18150, wind 160 at final visibility 10, ceiling 25,000 broken, temperature 31, 2.19er, altimeter 2979er, landing runway 1112 left,
29er, 79er.
runway 12 left, numerous cranes in operation around land or Kstl-Ksts. Advise on initial.
Okay, gonna get that set. I needed the altimeter basically. Should be all set. St. Louis clearance. Requesting clearance to Sonoma County Airport, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021. Request not understood.
Oh, I messed that up somehow. St. Louis clearance. Request IFR clearance to Sonoma Airport, Walker 4021. I think I needed to
Walker
indicate the
4021.
IFR.
SD Lewis clearance. Cleared to Charles M. Schultz, Sonoma County Airport. Break 5 departure. Hallsville VOR transition, then as filed. Climb via SID accept maintain 5000. Departure frequency 126.5. Squawk 0135.
Cleared via BRAC 5 departure. Hall V then is filed. Climb via SID. Expect maintain 5000. Departure frequency 126.5. Squawk 0135. Walker 4021. Alright, so
Walker 4021.
whoops.
Read back correct. Contact ground 127.55 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Contact ground 127.55. Walker 4021. Okay, so we've switched over there. You can see that. Alright, we're set at 5,000 as we were told. Alright, we're going to arm our throttle. Just trying to make sure, because again, we're kind of rushing here. Should have all my lights. Whoop, there we go.
Go ahead.
Whoops.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load chute up to you now. We'll contact you once the aircraft is closed up, then we'll get you moving. Roger.
Alright, so, okay, nothing on the PA system. Just need to finish boarding passengers, get the final load sheet, close aircraft doors, and then we should be all set.
Welcome aboard this Walker Air
So there goes our Walker announcement.
Please ensure to place your bags either in the overhead
Alright, so we've
compartment
got our
or in the seat
APU
in
on.
front of you. We should be on our way soon, so make sure to fasten your seatbelt and move your seat
So we
to
should
its
have
upright
that all
position.
set.
Thank
We
you.
need fuel tanks. Gonna need our hydraulics. Gonna want our probes and our heat on. Alright, should be all set there. We're gonna need our bleed on, packs off to be able to start the engines. So, should be in good position, I believe. Yaw damper on. Just checking everything over, doing a quick scan. So yeah, we should be all set. So we're just waiting. We've got 109 passengers expected. We have 100 on board. We're scheduled to depart in 9 minutes. So I think we're gonna make it. That's a good thing. Let's see. We've got Alright, I need to get my flaps out to 5 because they're just at 1. We've got our other stuff set. As far as other planes, we've got FSLTL doing its thing. So it looks like we got an Alaska, a couple Southwest Airlines out here. Alright. I think they're going to tell us we're done.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, here's the load sheet from ground. I've written the passenger count here, the crew count here, and a total number of souls, not including yourselves, here.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, looks like we're all set to go whenever you're ready.
All right, you can close the doors whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll let the crew know, and we'll get closed up as soon as we can.
Alright. So there we go. They'll be all set there.
All stations, please close doors.
And that will be the last piece we need.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Call me when you acquire pushback.
Alright, we're going to be ready to go.
Actually, we're all set to go now. Feel free to get connected. Roger.
Alright, let's let them know. St. Louis ground, request push and start, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, SD Lewis ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Alright, I don't have the beacon light active, it says. Interesting. I think that's the... whoops. I think that's that, so we should be good.
Walker 4021, SD Lewis ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
I'm glad they told me that. I did forget. Darn. Face northeast, Walker 4021. Alright. So we should be all set here. Let me refresh. Start this up. So we're going to unfortunately lose some time, but should be good. Alright, Roger. To the folks there. Alright, we should be able to push back. They're awaiting the response. So tow is connected. They're doing the push pin. We're going to face northeast. So let me get over here.
Tow is attached. Steering pin is inserted. Stand by while we start pushback. Please release your parking brake.
Alright, I will do that in a moment, but I need to make sure I know where I'm at here. Alright. Alright, parking brake released.
Parking brake released. Roger.
Alright, so I am where here? So I want to face northeast, so I need tail to the left. Alright, do I have my brake on again? No. Why are we not moving? It's telling me pushback in progress, but oh, there we go. Oh, I see. Do I have to... I think I have to delete PMDG stuff. Shoot.
Cabin crew, set doors to automatic and cross-check.
Alright, so hopefully that'll work better now.
Okay, Captain. We clear the stand, and you're free to start engine.
Okay, so now let me look out here. Alright, I want tail left. There we go. Okay, now we can't hear because we're not in the cockpit. Okay. We're gonna stop pushback.
Please set your parking brake. Starting number 1. Roger.
Alright. So we're gonna set the parking brake.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this Walker Air Transport flight. We please ask your attention as we demonstrate the safety features on this aircraft. Please make sure your bags are either in the overhead compartment or under the seat in
We'll
front.
get the engines going.
It's important to fasten your seatbelt, even when the sign is off.
Just make sure, because yeah, that's the one bad thing with self-loading cargo. You basically have to tell it where you're going.
Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure your seat is in the upright position. In case of a depressurization, oxygen masks will fall from above your seat.
Should
Please
be
wear
good.
yours first before helping children and others.
Spin that up.
In case of an emergency, there are doors in the front, middle, and back of this aircraft.
Make sure I have enough fuel. I didn't check that.
At this moment,
Silly me.
please make sure your phone is switched to airplane mode, your seatbelt is fastened, and your seat is on its upright position.
Okay,
For
it
further
should be
information,
good. We need
please read the safety information
26,000.
card located in the seat pocket in front of you. Thank you for flying with Walker Air Transport.
Alright.
We wish you to sit back, relax,
Let
and
me
enjoy
get
your flight.
this one going. Alright, parking brake is set.
Parking brake is on. Stand by. Please keep your parking brake on while we monitor engine start up and disconnect the phone.
Alright. So, we've got an American flight heading out there. Stuff moving around. So we got 3 drink service, 1 food, 1 alcohol, 1 duty free on this flight. With self-loading cargo, so should be set there. Should have all the things going. So it says it's monitoring engine startup, but maybe, there we go, alright.
Okay, Captain. Looks like a good startup on all engines until it's disconnected. Nose boom is free, so you're good to go. We'll get ourselves disconnected now, so have a safe flight. Look out for the pin on the left, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for the help. Pin on the left, and we'll see you next time.
Request taxi to runway, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021. Runway 12 left taxi via Papa. Delta, Romeo. Hold short runway 12 right.
Runway 12 right, taxi via Papa, Romeo Alpha. Hold short runway 12 right. I think I may have said that wrong.
Clarify departure runway 12 left.
Runway 12 left, Walker 4021. Alright, so I'm going via Papa, Delta. So I'm trying to figure out where, because we are, Papa, Delta, Romeo. Where's Romeo? Alright, I might need to look at my little nav map here, because this is just not working out. Okay, Delta. Where is Romeo? I cannot find this.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is secured for takeoff.
We're almost ready, so you can take your seats now.
No problem. All stations, takeoff positions, please.
Alright, so we're just gonna head on out here. So we're gonna get the engines spun up. Alright, I need to get the center. Whoop, I am spun up way too fast. So let me lower that. But I also noticed we need the center tanks on too. So we've got fuel in there. Otherwise we're going to have a problem. But now we should be good. There we go. Alright. And we are moving. So we just need to maintain the taxi speed. Should be able to go up to, oops, not sure what's happening. What is happening? There we go. I'm like, what is going on? My goodness, I don't know why this thing is pointing where it is, but it is. Alright. So, just need to not go too fast here. So Delta is the taxiway that's a little ways out there. But I can't tell where Romeo is, honestly. So that's the problem. But, so we're crossing, I'm not even sure what this should be. We've got a plane coming toward us. I am not going to look at it. I'm looking at my little nav map. We should see it as we turn in here. So there he is. Alright, we're going 13 knots, so that's not too bad. We should be
Walker
okay.
4021. Cross runway 12 right at Romeo. Continue taxi via Delta, Romeo, Sierra.
Cross runway 12 right at Romeo, Walker 4021.
Negative. Continue taxi via Delta, Romeo, Sierra.
Continue taxi via Delta, Romeo, Sierra, Walker 4021. I might get in trouble here. Might have been a bit too abrupt. I don't know that this is the right place, but I'm gonna go with it. Because it gets me to 12 left the cleanest way possible without backtracking a bit. So I'm gonna leave it that way. I don't know why that master caution light keeps coming on, frankly. Maybe because of the fuel. Hopefully we don't have anybody coming this way. I don't see anybody on the nav map, so I assume we're okay. But 12 left is right up there, so we're going to basically go forward a bit. Let me speed up a tiny bit on the engines. But we're clear of the runway now.
Walker 4021. Contact SD Lewis Tower 132.475.
Contact St. Louis Tower 132.475, Walker 4021. St. Louis Tower, Walker 4021, requesting departure, runway 12 left.
Walker 4021, backtrack runway 12 left. Call when ready for departure.
I'm confused, I'm right here. I mean, I'm not at the hold point yet, but... Walker 4021, ready for departure.
Walker 4021, negative. Backtrack runway 12 left.
I don't understand. Backtrack runway 12 left, Walker 4021. Guess I have to acknowledge the instruction first. Walker 4021, request departure.
Walker 4021, St. Louis Tower. Wind 160 at 9er. Fly runway heading. Runway 12 left. Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 12 left, cleared for takeoff. Walker 4021.
No. Walker 4021 cleared for takeoff. Runway 12 left.
I guess I didn't quite say it right. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 12 left. Walker 4021. Alright. So, should be all set. Thought I had turned the brake off, but didn't hear it disengage. Whoa, a little bit of a bump. That's why we normally, I've been advised not to use collisions in the game, but some of the career things make you do it. Nothing I'm using right now, but that was one of the challenges with some of the other things. Alright, so we're gonna just hop in here. Let me get this set. We're gonna need taxis are off, but we're gonna need landing lights on. Alright, we should be all set. So, there we go. Alright, right now everything appears to be green. I want to obviously get set here. Got an 11-minute block time, which I think means that's when we left the gate. But we were considered an on-time departure. Alright, so I should be all set. Should be able to go Toga here. Let's just make sure everything's good. Yep. So there we go. Toga is on. Flaps are at the appropriate level.
$100 knots.
Alright, should. Alright, so we're at V1, so we're gonna start trying to rotate here. Come on. That was a bit much.
Positive rate, gear up.
Okay, gears going up. Should be all set. Should be able to... Why can I not turn things on? There we go.
Walker 4021, contact to St. Louis app departure.
Alright, we're on auto throttle. Contact St. Louis departure, Walker 4021. Alright, we have VNAV, we have LNAV. I'm not quite sure why it's climbing like we're in a rocket ship, but it is. So, should be set. I just want to make sure everything is working as it should be. So we should be turning in about a mile. Just take a peek. There we go. We're definitely turning. Alright, so let's issue some of our announcements.
Good afternoon once again from the cockpit. I hope all is well with you and you're enjoyed flying with us so far. We're currently climbing up to our cruising altitude of 38,000 feet, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. We're expecting to arrive on time as planned. Progress is going very well. You'll next hear from me just before we start our descent. I'll be sure to keep you updated if anything changes, but in the meantime, please feel free to relax and take advantage of our onboard facilities.
Alright, so we're capped at 5,000 right now. St. Louis Tower, Walker 4021, flight level 5,000.
Walker 4021, St. Louis app departure, radar contact, cleared direct DAFIS, resume the brake 5. Climb and maintain flight level 190.
Resume BRAC 5. Climb and maintain flight level 190, Walker 4021.
Negative. Cleared direct DAFIS.
Cleared direct DAFIS, Walker 4021. We already passed DAFIS, so it's a little late. Alright, so we should be good here. We're now at 19. The question is it gonna take us up there, or are we going to not climb? We should be climbing soon. So we're kind of circling around, heading over near the airport again. I mean, we are on VNav. So, tempted to just get the V speed going, so we'll do that. Get that moving, and now we'll put it on VNav. There we go. And now it's on VNav speed, and it can do what it needs to do. And then as we get near 10,000, we'll release the crew. We'll do all that, but we're going to wait a little while, obviously. We don't want to exceed 250. All right. In theory, we want to put that gear to off. I don't do that on the 737 kind of quite as often as I should, but not doing a bad job here. So I'm also using this new map thing, which uses newer Bing maps. And so the coloring on the ground, the example videos I've seen of it, it should look more realistic on the ground. I guess I'll let you be the judge of that. But a lot of the fields, and even some of the trees, you know, it's not all that bright green that we're used to. So, you know, it's definitely kind of given a different view than we normally have, but you know, that should improve some things. Whoops. All right.
Good afternoon once again from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far. Just a quick broadcast to let you know that we will be keeping the seatbelt signs on for a few more minutes, as there may be some light turbulence as we climb through the clouds. Keep an eye on the overhead panel, and as soon as we're clear, I'll turn off the sign and you'll be able to move around the cabin. Thank you.
Okay. So there we go. We're going to release them. And then I will go up top, turn off the landing lights.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. And you
this
are
is
now
going to
free
be a
move
bit of
around
a
the
problem.
cabin. However, be aware as we might pass through unexpected turbulence.
Because, yeah,
Toilets are
that
located in the front
causes a
and
bit
on
of
the
a
back
problem.
this
I forgot to
airplane.
change
If
this
you
from
need any
APU
assistance,
power.
Don't hesitate to ask. We hope
Silly
you enjoy
me.
your flight.
Alright, so should be set.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, so you are now free to move around the cabin. However, for your safety, we do recommend that you remain seated with your belt fastened at all times during the flight. Thank you.
Alright. So we should be all set. Alright. I shouldn't have to notify anybody on the PA. I'm gonna just hang up. I just want to make sure I don't need to tell the crew anything. I don't. So I should be pretty good shape. But yeah, we're gonna have drink service in 8 minutes, food in 53, alcohol in an hour and a half, and duty free kind of right on the tail of that. So right now it's telling me we've got 5.5 hours. It should go down pretty easily. I haven't raised my flaps. That's part of the problem too. So that will help, because then this will clear up, because we should absolutely be able to go above 250 here. Let's see what the legs look like. Let's see. Yeah, we're set to 292. I'm not quite sure. There we go. I guess we had to fully clear that, but I'm sure at some point, there we go. Now we're starting to accelerate. So that will lower our time substantially. So we're already down to 5 hours, because we've gone from like 220 to 240. But we'll be able to accelerate better at lower levels than we can at higher levels. So that's partially what I want to make sure I'm doing here. So self-loading cargo has a lot of stuff on the screen. Is frankly part of the challenge. So it hides some screens from me. So I'm hoping I'll be able to see the beyond ATC stuff. You know, we're getting near 19,000, but we might need to then manually go again, because we may hit 19 before we get a call from the next handoff, because we're still... Oh, here we go.
Walker 4021, contact Kansas City Center 121.25, see you.
Contact Kansas City Center 121.25, Walker 4021. Kansas City Center, Walker 4021, flight level 170, on my way to flight level 190. Let's see where they send us.
Walker 4021,
All right.
Kansas City Center. Climb and maintain flight level 380.
So I can see it on screen first, and if I change it before it starts to slow down, that's always best. Climb and maintain flight level 380, Walker 4021. Alright, so we should be good for a while. And, you know, the Mach number will keep climbing as we go higher, go to standard pressure. So that will move us a bit, because we had pretty low pressure at the ground there, frankly. And at this point, we are under 4 hours for arrival. Getting about 3 hours and 45 minutes. But we should be closer to like 0.7, there you go, 0.772773 is where we're headed. So, you know, we're going to go up another 0.14 Mach. And that is speed of sound, in case you're unfamiliar with that. But, you know, that gets us that information. And the air gets thinner as we get higher, so we continue to go a little faster.
Contact Kansas City Center 135.525.
What did I do? What did I do? Oh, I know. I don't have my packs on. So I need to turn this off. I need to move this to auto. Move this to auto. That should change. We'll cut this out. So this should start to change.
Contact Kansas City Center 135.525.
Kansas City 135.525, Walker 4021. So you can see it's starting to drop. Kansas City Center, Walker 4021, flight level 220, on my way to flight level 380.
Walker 4021, Kansas City Center, roger.
Alright, pretty sharp left turn there, as you can see, but we should be good. So, ground speed's above 400 now. That should continue to rise to about 450-ish. Especially into the wind, it's a little challenging. You know, we're not straight into the wind, but you can see winds coming out of 250, we're heading 281, so certainly a headwind versus a tailwind. That's part of the challenge. Let's just see how the cabin pressure's going. Let me Set that to auto, that might help. But yeah, I should be able to...
Just to let you know, we will be starting our in-flight drink service in a few moments.
So it takes a while for that to work out, but it should clear up over time.
Thank you.
But that was my bad, just trying to focus on all the other pieces. So drink service starting in about 2 minutes, which is why the flight crew gave that announcement out. Alright, so at this point, because we are looking at a pretty lengthy flight, I am not going to make this a full flight video. We're just basically going to obviously be doing a lot of handoffs as we cross air traffic, and yes, there will be some service and so forth going on, but I think we've given you a good start here. You know, passing through 26, we're at 4:30. So hopefully we'll make some good time across here, and I'll get you back on probably as we're starting, you know, once we've already started descent, or maybe just before that, so that you can kind of hear all the self-loading cargo stuff and enjoy some of those announcements. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and step away, so I'll see you in a bit. Alright, I'm back.
Good afternoon once again from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far. We'll be starting our descent in approximately 30 minutes, so still plenty of time to enjoy the rest of the flight. The arrival weather forecast is looking good, so it should be a nice easy approach into the airport. We're not expecting any delays, so we should be able to land fairly quickly. Once we do start our descent, please make sure to listen carefully to any instructions from our cabin crew and pay special attention to the seatbelt signs. Thanks very much for flying with us, and I'll speak to you again shortly.
Alright, so I did find out, I informed the cabin crew ahead of time, and what they did was say, oh, some of the passengers are getting thirsty, we'll do one more drink service, because there was a drink service scheduled about 20 minutes from now, but instead they moved it up. And, but I've also got informed crew of descent. You communicated to the cabin crew. Now again, the key is we need to be on time. So, we hope we will. 2140 is when I basically did the notice. Well, we're going to be slightly ahead of Frig, so I did it a little early, so I might get dinged. This is really 40 minutes. I should have waited till 2150, because we're just ahead of Frig here at the top of descent. So, but the farthest out you can go is 30 minutes. So, oh well, we'll see what happens. Now the question is, why are we only going... Oh, I see, because it's 7... That's the Mach number. Interesting that we're only 240, because yeah, we're definitely not clipping along very fast, that's for sure. Fuel. Why do, oh, probably because I don't need the center tanks anymore, so I think you're technically supposed to turn those off because they cause a problem. So there we go, no light anymore. Interesting that we've used 0.4 thousand more, used like 400 pounds more fuel out of the one side than the other. That is strange. So, probably want to cross-feed. Maybe let that even out. I'm not sure if it will do that, but...
Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. Thank you.
Do I have to? No. Okay. I think I just need the cross-feed to do it, and I'm hoping then it pumps it, but I don't know that it will. That I'm not sure, because I mean in theory it should do that and then just go around. Well, let me turn those on and see what happens. Because that was something I needed to do in the Learjet, actually. which I had no idea that you had to, but we did. Alright, well, we're getting an error, so I'm guessing not gonna work. So, could be just my thought, but I think this looks significantly better than what we used to have. You get a lot of the circular crop things that are happening, but also I think it's just a more realistic view on the ground as far as coloring. I don't know that we're going to get much of a chance to see as we come in. Might be too much. Alright, well, it's not doing anything that I can see, so I'm going to... I mean, it does say valve open. I'm just seeing, those are displays. It's not doing any kind of filter bypass or anything like that. Well, we'll leave it that way, and maybe at some point it'll level out. I mean, it took a long time in the Learjet too, so it's possible it will just take a bit to do it. Alright, yeah, we've still got a ways to go, because it doesn't have the approach here on my little nav map. So we have it in the computer, but it's not quite appearing. So if I go to the computer here, basically SOW is where we get into the approach thing, and then Birdie, Lussy, Edove, Pigpen, and then after Pigpen we land. So, but, you know, 20 miles to Tango Papa Hotel, and then we've got Sonora, which is over Sonora, California. We'll actually be flying over the Oakland airport, so that's what Oak is. Yeah, but at that point we've already started descending. So, see how it goes, but then obviously should be pretty good. But yeah, I just started it too darn early, because I was wondering, I'm like, that seems really fast, like how are we gonna go 133? And the numbers messed me up. It really, at 2140 I was really looking at 2210, not 2220, so shame on me. And again, it's not a small, I mean, it's off by 33%. I'm guessing I'm going to lose some points for accuracy there, but working at it, doing it, that's how I'm going to find out. So the big news, obviously, is going to be the landing. So let's talk about that, because life is going to be a bit, oh boy. I really shouldn't have told them that the weather, I mean, the weather may be clear, but the winds are not. 240 at 15 with gusts of 19. So I'm going to go ahead and get things into the computer. So we'll go to descent. Forecast, no, I don't need, well, I guess I could request the winds, get some detail, that might help a little bit. Of course, all that probably will do is change my my information as far as arrival or whatever. Well, if it's going to do anything, I don't know when it's going to do it, but right now, oh, there we go. So we'll load those, we'll see what we get. Alright, so 304, 324, 347 at 19. So we have the descent. Let's see. So I want to go to the index. I've done the approach. I've set for the slowest because basically it's a 6,000 foot runway. SimBrief has introduced some new features in the last couple weeks about takeoff and approach, where it does calculations for you. So the reason I went ahead and flew the Airbus is it's telling me I can land the Airbus with max auto brake in 3,500 feet. I don't know how pleasant that's going to be. I mean, in theory, the explanation I read is that even at max braking, it's actually not that terrible for passengers. I mean, it's obviously a bit more than what you would normally do. But I think, again, the Boeing kind of picks up everything in between. I was going to go and get the information in here, but I don't think there's really anything to do. So, guess that makes it easy. But now we're heading to Sonora. We'll have just turned. We're probably flattening out. So now we're at a heading of 249, where we were at 283, I think. No, no, that wouldn't have been right, because that would have been like way south. But we were going more south than we are now. We've turned and we're heading, obviously, a lot further. So maybe it was like 233 or something. Maybe that's what it was. Because I assume, like, I won't be able to see the previous ones.
Contact Oakland Center 125.75.
Contact Oakland Center 125.75, Walker 4021. Alright. Good news is overall experience for everybody is good flight. I don't get that too often. Usually it's satisfactory flight. So, might be because, you know, people are getting served. Now, again, we only had the one food service, and it does say they're getting hungry, but, you know, we don't have time to do all that. I mean, they've gotten 3 drink services plus some alcohol, so, you know, maybe the alcohol's helped them feel that the experience is good, because they're all a little tipsy. I don't know. But, yeah, we never got above a ground speed of 430. We're obviously only at a ground speed of 400 right now. So definitely not wonderful. I've gotten as fast as 500 sometimes, but that's usually going the other way, where we've got a tailwind with us, and I've gotten into the 500s, 520s. But flying west, you tend to be going into the wind more often than you're not. So, but yeah, we crossed into, obviously, Oakland Center, so I can see that on my map. Los Angeles Center is just south of us. You know, not a short amount, but you know, we're real close. Like right where we were going to Tango Papa Hotel. That waypoint's kind of right in the corner where Oakland, LA, and Salt Lake City, I think, come together. It doesn't have Salt Lake listed on the other side, but not sure. So I'm trying to figure out, we're heading toward Mammoth Lakes, Bishop, like, I'm thinking we're still not in California, even though we're at Oakland Center for the control. Oh, actually, I see the state line coming up, so yes, we're kind of in the little point of Nevada at this point. And probably for another, I don't know, 40 or 50 nautical miles, so a good way. It's kind of before we really hit any of the mountains, even though it looks like we're hitting one there. I'm not quite sure we are, but maybe we are, and maybe that's about where we'd be at. So let me look real quick. Okay, it's still 220, like everything's working as it should be. But now we are, okay, so we're within 160, so I'm gonna dial this down, and then pretty soon we should be seeing that top of descent come in. Like, this is a little small. I probably need the range a little higher. Let's set it at 40. That'll give me a little bit of a view, but as you can tell, you know, I mean, it's kind of what you want. You want an uneventful flight. You don't want, like, panic and everything else going on in the interim. That's not a lot of fun. Weather's been pretty good, and like I said, I'm not seeing, like, the forecast is few clouds at 6,000 feet, and nothing other than that. So, but yeah, I was going to put in the temperature and all that. Again, I'm not sure that I can dial in. No, I can't do the... Oh, no, I can. Alright, so it's 2992 for the barometric pressure at Schultz, Sonoma County in Santa Rosa. So I think Sonoma County is wine country. I think it's up kind of near Napa and all that. I don't know for certain. Oh, I never announced myself on the frequency. Whoops. Oakland Center, Walker 4021, flight level 380. It's been a long time. I'm surprised. I guess they don't call me.
Walker 4021, Oakland Center, roger.
Of course, they might hand me off like almost immediately, but I just noticed on Beyond ATC, the first thing I could do was announce myself on the frequency. But lots of activity. Not as noisy. But yeah, one of the things I've definitely run into, and the only feedback I've gotten from people is just, you know, you kind of need to take the planning tool's word for it more than you do Microsoft Flight Simulator. Because both the Citation and the Learjet should have had more than enough distance. I think the Learjet had like 1,000 extra nautical miles over what I in theory was going. You know, and I get that, you know, there's a little bit of deviation, so even though I think it's 1,515 nautical miles, you know, it's showing, I think at like 1,590 or whatever was like what the flight plan came in at, because I'm sure just kind of going up north a little bit, coming back down, and all of that adds, you know, those 70 miles or whatever it is to the trip, but it certainly wasn't adding 1,000 miles to the trip. But, you know, that's the situation we've got. So, getting close, 10-15 miles to the Nevada border. And then we will be in the sunny state of California, which is our final destination. But yeah, the problem is, in theory, in 13 minutes, we should be descending, and that's not going to happen. Because it's there, but we're not going to cover that in 13 minutes. As much as I'd like to. I mean, we'll be close. It won't be terrible, but... Because, I mean, we've only gone 17, well, now 18 minutes, so, you know, we're down to 12 minutes, but... Oh, now they're very hungry, so we're going to have a mutiny soon. Because, yeah, the drink service is now done, everything's done, but then the nice thing for the cabin crew, I'm sure, is, you know, they can go ahead and start tidying things up. Because on the score checklist that Self-Loading Cargo provides you, its explanation is call the crew to the intercom to let them know when they can expect you to start descending, so that they know how long they have remaining to perform in-flight services, which was then what gave them the opportunity to make the decision that they were going to go ahead and do the drink service early. Because I'm not sure they'd be starting the drink service yet if we hadn't done it. And once again, that may have been okay. I really think it would have been, because I think until I tell them to get the cabin ready as we're getting close to 10,000 feet, I don't know that, you know, we have to do anything else. I mean, they can prepare the cabin. They just have to have enough time to prepare the cabin before I tell them they have to take their seats. So. Alright, but we're probably within 100 miles or so of the descent. And, you know, if we were going 600 on the ground speed, that would work. But we're not, or the airspeed, and we're not doing that either. So it's going to take another 21 minutes or so at least till we get to Frigg. But 105 of the 109 seated, 49 secured. Block time right now, 3 hours and 34 minutes. It's showing us our planned arrival at Charles Schultz is 23:10 Zulu. So in theory, an hour and 10 minutes from now. I'm hoping it won't take that long, but we tend to be early. So, you know, I think, again, they build that in on the schedules to just anticipate some potential problems, so forth. Oh, we are in California now, by the way. Let's see. Is it still... Can't really tell, because it's all kind of the arid... It's not a desert, per se, but it's pretty dry out here, and I think this would be the Sierra Nevada mountains. They may not go this far north in California. I'm not actually sure of those kind of details. Oh, we're now back to getting hungry, so maybe people had snacks in their bags or something. I don't know. I don't know why they're no longer very hungry and in red. They're just getting hungry. Maybe because they're anticipating that in 9 minutes we're going to begin descending, and then they're going to start rioting after that, since I lied to them. Darn it. Because I think at this point, if I do anything on the PA... Is it going to say anything?
Good afternoon once again from the cockpit. I hope all is well with you and you're enjoyed flying with us so far.
Alright, well, we're definitely on schedule.
Just to keep you updated, we look to be making good progress and are expecting to arrive on time as planned. We'll keep you posted if anything changes, but in the meantime, enjoy the remainder of the flight, and I'll speak to you again once we're about to start our descent. Thanks a lot.
Okay. So, I've got... Let's see, I gotta turn this one button off. So I've got an accurate... Okay, so those are the top of descent. Descent started. Make a PA announcement. Seatbelts on. Turn on before making the prepare to arrival announcement to the crew. Make sure you turn the seatbelt on sign before instructing the cabin crew to prepare for arrival. All of that. So I think we're okay. Oh, we got all our points for our service provision because we had 6 in-flight services and they were all done. So that's good. Alright. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have bad timing for descent. Oh, now we're back to very hungry. 43 miles. Alright, now we're really over some mountains. So, Mammoth Lakes, wherever that is. But we have our little iPad to do things with there. Let's see. Before prepare for arrival. I'm just trying to keep track. Because I'm doing quite well, honestly, for what I normally do on the flight, as far as that. Now, if I can, you know, have a great landing, and because I didn't have any craziness taking off, autopilot engaged almost right away, so things should be pretty smooth as far as that. But I don't know that I've got any specific locations that I'm aware of. But again, I'm looking at aeronautical charts, and I really don't have... Like, I don't have the satellite up. Well, it is VFR, but let's see. If I do the satellite gives me even less data. Let's see, world map. And I suppose if I do the world map, that's now showing me some city names. Nothing I can read, nor nothing I really know. Mariposa? No. Oh, now I'm too far. So we just passed Mammoth Lakes. I'm not sure. Alright, well, in theory, 5 minutes from now, we should be descending, and I think if we'll be lucky if we're at Sonora by then, honestly. So we'll see, and we've got, I think, how far? Yeah, another 70 miles to Frigg. I mean, we don't have to go the whole way, but, you know, because we're not even at 80 nautical miles yet to top of descent, so... And it really doesn't make a lot of sense to start descending earlier. I mean, in theory I could, but that's just going to slow us down even more, and then we run the risk of being late, which obviously isn't going to help anybody. But like I said, it's just, you know, a beautiful flight. Things moving along as we need. 409. I mean, the trend is still up for the passenger monitor, which is kind of a thing that tells us, you know, how they're doing. I guess I can share that, you know. But that's up, so in theory they're getting a little bit happier, even though they're getting hungry. You know, and then there's several other windows, but those things, you know, kind of the flight information is what gives you kind of the specific areas you want to focus on. Like all the other services are done, so the service management window is, you know, not really helpful, or cabin management, and the narration is showing me what they're saying, and obviously we've got the score checklist, and then there's door management, which obviously in flight there's not a whole lot you should be doing with your doors. So
Walker 4021, contact Oakland Center 121.25. Take care.
Oakland Center 121.25, Walker 4021. Oakland Center, Walker 4021, flight level 380.
Walker 4021, Oakland Center, roger.
Oh, got in again. Called on the intercom.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Just checking to see if everything is okay.
Thanks for asking. Everything is going great.
Call me if you need anything.
All right. So, as you might expect, the flight crew does check on you periodically. I've got the specific thing turned off where when they do a drink service or a food service that they contact me and ask me if I want anything. Because obviously I usually always say no. I mean, I honestly do always say no. All right, we're going by Yosemite Village to the north. I don't know if we can make anything out. I doubt it. I mean, it's like, could you see Half Moon from up here or something? It's more like behind us. I don't remember Yosemite being quite that rugged, so it might just have that name, but, you know, or again, we're too high up, or, you know, maybe that's Half Dome. You know, that might be the valley there. Don't know. We're far enough away that we can't really tell, but getting over the mountains, and then we'll be kind of flattening out to the coast. But there we go, 2209, and again, we will get to Sonora by 2210 or during 2210, but so we're going to turn a tiny bit here to 249er. So we're going to move 3 degrees. So there we go. We're now through that. And now we just need to get to Frigg. and then we will head down. And we're still not at 2210, so I mean, we did make it through Sonora, which is good, but again, it's going to probably be 10 more minutes. Not quite, because obviously we're descending before Frigg is where the top of descent was listed. So it might give us grace, but I guess we'll find out. But yeah. Is it 10 miles before Frigg? Maybe. So, you know, are we like 55 miles away? We could be. But you can kind of see how it's going down. I mean, we're going down 1/10 of a mile faster than, you know, per second. So it's not like, oh gee, it's going to take 630 seconds, which would be 10 minutes. But, you know, it's, who knows what fraction of it is or whatever. Alright, well, at this point everyone's seated because they probably listened to my stupid announcement and said, we're going to be descending soon. But no such luck. So, not much to share, so hopefully you're just enjoying the view a little bit or whatever. I guess this is probably as good a time as any if you're still listening. Like, give me some feedback on what you think these flights should be like. Like, what is interesting on the episodes? Because when I'm doing stuff like this, you know, and nothing much is happening, I mean, it's the reality of the flight, but I don't know how entertaining it is to watch, or if people just skip over it and don't even think about it. But on the 160-mile range, I think everything's on now. So I think the airport and all that is in there somewhere, because yeah, we're going to 32, so I'm thinking we're there. So again, you know, is it less than 160 miles for the whole thing? Maybe. I mean, obviously we're heading out to the side, and you know, so that could be the ocean already, because we're not that close to the coast, I don't think. Well, although we are flying over Oakland, which is right across the bay from San Francisco. Alright, so we're kind of getting to the point over in that direction. Somewhere is Stockton, California. So I know that's a town in American Truck Simulator that I go to periodically. So I kind of have a concept of where that is just from that. But at this point, will it tell me anything about landing? Not really. So birdie, 22:35, so not quite 20 minutes. And that, I believe, is already on the approach that we're coming in. It's on the ILS approach, as far as I know. Yeah, absolutely, at 4,000, so. But Steve is where we will turn, and that's really where we start, because we're kind of coming in, we will be coming in from the south. I shouldn't say we're kind of coming in from the south. We are coming in from the south. And our alternate airport, by the way, is San Francisco. So if somehow, you know, we ever used an alternate, which I never do, because it's not the nature of what you're doing here.
Contact Oakland Center 126.85. Have a good one.
Oakland Center 126.85, Walker 4021. Oakland Center, Walker 4021, flight level 380.
Walker 4021, Oakland Center, roger.
Alright, so we're at 25 miles till top of descent. So if we get close and they haven't told us anything, we'll call ready for descent. I'm not sure you know, when or why, because of course the flight plan doesn't have the ILS approach in, so in theory it should get me going faster, because they probably would vector me in, although this approach is relatively straight in compared to some where you're going around or whatever. I see Brentwood coming up, but the Brentwood I'm more familiar with in California, I think, is over in the LA area, because I think Brentwood rings a bell with the O.J. Simpson thing, but I could be crazy. Milipitas? I think I've heard of that. So that's starting to come in. We've got KSJC, which I think is San Jose. So we're going to be, that's going to be passing on our left once we get to Steve and turn. But a bit of clouds. Again, it said a few clouds. And that again is at our destination, which is still a little ways away. Let's see. The problem is the Walker thing is going to be kind of as the crow flies. So it's telling me 16 minutes on the flight tracking. But I don't think... I think it's going to be a good amount more than that. But yeah, now we're 6 minutes past. I mean, we are, you know, 12 minutes out. 12 miles out, not 12 minutes. It's going to be a lot less than 12 minutes, but yeah, it's almost going to be right about 10 nautical miles from the waypoint. So about halfway, maybe I'll wait a little bit longer. We'll call for descent because, you know, why have them yell at us otherwise? But it also takes a little while when we've got 40 miles on the range for the display. Alright. Just wasn't sure where I was at there. Alright, well, people are not seated or secure, but again, they don't need to be. We don't have to turn the seatbelt on till about 10,000. Probably do it a little bit earlier just to be sure, but because if I don't have it on before that, I definitely know I get dinged. Because at this point, let me go look real quick. Like, yeah, I have the seatbelts on auto, but like I don't think it's working. Speaking of, it is not. Even with the crossfeed, it has done nothing. So I'm going to close the valve again.
Walker 4021, turn left.
Oh, there we go.
250, descend and maintain flight level 330. Charles M. Schultz, Sonoma County Airport, landing runway 14.
Turn left 250, flight level 330. Runway 14, altimeter 29er, 9er 2, Walker 4021. Now, why it's redirecting me, I don't know, but I am not going to that airport,
Walker
or to that runway.
Turn left, heading 250, vectors for the approach. Expect further clearance in about 80 miles.
So yeah, we're not going anywhere near that. 250, Walker 4021. So, we're going to get yelled at a lot.
Walker 4021, contact Oakland Center 127.45. Have a good day.
Oakland Center 127.45, Walker 4021. Now we're already descending. So the accurate descent notification, I got dinged. Now see, it's saying I didn't do anything. Oakland Center, Walker 4021. Descending, flight level 350.
Walker 4021, Oakland Center.
Good afternoon
Roger.
once again from the cockpit. As you may have noticed, we've begun our descent.
Where are we going to be? Is it going to tell me?
Depending on the destination air traffic, we should be landing in around 40 minutes. In the meantime, I will be instructing the cabin crew to get the cabin ready for our arrival. Once that happens, the seatbelt sign will be
I'm
illuminated.
giving
and
myself
you will
a
be
lot
required
of
to stay
time.
seated and secured until after landing. If you need to visit the toilet, it may be worth making your way towards one now. For now, though, I will wish you a very good afternoon once again, and I'll speak to you in a short while once we've landed.
Alright. So at this point, it's not asking us about descent, because I've already told them I'm descending. You know, again, I think regular air traffic would have yelled at me. Like, what are you doing? But, you know, because I'm really not on the approach, and there's not an arrival or anything like that. But, alright, so it's Steve. You can see we're going to make a pretty sharp right-hand turn. And then that will take us over the Oakland airport. Now I'm confused. Is this the same? Because I thought Oakland was north of San Francisco. I do not know. This might not be the Oakland airport I'm thinking of, but... So yeah, we did not get points, so it told me the descent time prediction of the cabin crew, we were within 7 minutes of your estimate of 30. But then the top of descent announcement was inaccurate. You were 37 minutes outside your estimate. So the self-loading cargo still has those issues to some degree, where like I issued it, it gave me credit for issuing the top of descent announcement when we'd be there, but as opposed to the crew one, it's not calculating it, and it's telling me I'm off, and basically from the time I announced, it's telling me, oop, well, too bad. So yeah, starting to turn a bit early, just because, again, to maintain a reasonable turn, this is kind of what you do in an aircraft.
Walker 4021, turn left, heading 240.
Yeah, see, now it's telling me to turn left, and I'm obviously going the other way. Turn left 240, Walker 4021. At some point, it's just going to get mad and tell me, like,
Walker
whatever you're doing.
Turn right, heading 285. Descend and maintain flight level 190. Expect further clearance in about 42 miles.
Turn right 285, flight level 190, Walker 4021. Alright, so we'll at least stick with the clearance altitudes. So let's see, what other choices? Yeah, can't really do anything of interest. So we've got 37 nautical miles to Oakland, and then we're going kind of direct to Sao, which is going to be 16 miles away at that point. But, you know, if I look at that route data, 2339, it was 19, so 20, like, I think we're going to be early from my estimate, and I'm assuming that's not going to be good either, but I'll have to figure out how to look that up a little bit better in the future. Alright, and then just before the prepare for arrival, I need to give an announcement, but, you know, I should be able to get lower than this by a good ways, and then worry about it after that. But yeah, we're still off by basically 400 pounds on the fuel, so don't understand why it burned the way it did there. Okay, we're still listed as good flight. Everybody's seated. Very few are secured. Okay, so now I understand. I guess, I don't know why I thought they were, like, across a certain direction. But Oakland is across the bay from San Francisco Airport. So we're going to be north of San Francisco. You know, we're headed, if we didn't have these clouds, we'd be able to get a pretty nice view, but we're headed, like, straight for the bay. you know, and again, I'm supposed to go 285, so I'm going kind of the way it asked me to, so it would have vectored me in similarly, maybe, but because I do think the RNAV approach is similar, but again, 1.4 is going to be, you know, a very different approach than 3.2 is. So why it changed it, my guess is the wind shifted. Let's see, if I look at the ATIS, oh, there's no real ATIS available.
Walker 4021, contact Oakland Center 119.475.
Oakland Center 119.475, Walker 4021. So that's the bay down there. Oakland Center, Walker 4021, descending through flight level 230 on my way to flight level 190.
Walker 4021, Oakland Center, roger.
Alright, so the real question starts to become, what are my speeds? Okay, it should start slowing down, and in theory, again, they haven't cleared me past 19,000, but I'm supposed to be, well, I guess it's SOW, it doesn't really say. At Birdie, I need to be at 4,000, but going from 19 to 4, I mean, that's 15,000 feet. And that would normally take about 45 miles, and I don't know that I have that much, so I'm going to Oakland Center, requesting altitude change, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, roger. Say new altitude.
15,000, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, you broke up. Say again altitude.
Requesting 15,000 feet, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, I didn't get that altitude. Say again altitude.
Flight level 15000.
Walker 4021, unable flight level 15000 at this time. Walker 4021, turn right, heading 320.
320, Walker 4021. Request altitude change, Walker 4021. I'm going to pick
Walker
one that comes up.
Roger. Say new altitude.
They let me go to 16, so let's see if it'll do that.
Request 16,000, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, unable 16,000.
See, and I don't know why it does that, but...
Walker 4021, descend and maintain
Alright, there we
10,000, altimeter 2992.
Descend and maintain 10,000, altimeter 2992, Walker 4021. Alright, so we're going to do a V-speed, and we're going to go down. And then we're going to go to VNav, and just make sure that we're starting, because otherwise you can see, like, the marker is significantly lower. Like, that's where we should be to have a nice glide slope.
Turn right, heading 325.
Heading 325, Walker 4021. So we're ignoring that right now because we're following the path. Alright. 29902 is what they told us and what we had in the METAR, so that would make sense. Alright, I'm going to start getting some of the flaps out. So hopefully that will slow me down some. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I am going to want to be on max for the brakes again. I want to make sure I don't have that as a problem. Alright, so we're 6.6 miles away. Now, yeah, it's dropping down because I put the flaps down. And I'd rather do that. And again, they're like 1 degree flaps, so it's nothing. But this at least lets me scrub some speed. Alright, so we're crossing across here. So that's the Golden Gate Bridge down below there.
Walker 4021, contact Oakland Center 127.8.
Oakland Center 127.8, Walker 4021. Oakland Center, Walker 4021, passing through flight level 160, on my way to flight level 100. It's really not a flight level, so might yell at me.
Walker 4021, Oakland Center, roger.
Alright. I really should be passing
Walker
60.
4021, altimeter 29902, expect the visual approach runway 14.
Expect visual runway 14. Altimeter 2992, Walker 4021. Alright, that's not the way I'm gonna go, but we'll pretend. Alright. So now at this point, I'm not sure that I can do anything, but we'll get the approach. Alright, we're on glide path. Interesting. I guess that's good. So it's going to take me down really, really fast, because it's like, you're way, way too high. So we'll see how that goes. But at Birdie, we're supposed to be at 4,000. So you can kind of start to understand how that works. You know, I'm not sure I want to be at quite as slow as it's trying to get me to, but we'll see. I think we're finally starting to get that. Alright, so yes, now it lit up. So in theory, it should slow down. And then, you know, we'll lock in to the approach at some point. Alright, so I want to get them ready.
Hi, Captain.
Let me go here.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Captain.
Sorry, I've completely forgotten what it was I wanted.
No problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please make sure your seat is on its upright position and your seatbelt is fastened. Our crew will be soon preparing the cabin for our arrival. Thank you for your attention.
Everyone's secured above 10,000 feet. I don't think I quite did the announcement right. Not sure, but now we need to wait for secure cabin. And then at some point we're going to want to take seats for landing. Alright, so let me get up here. We'll get the landing lights on. And we're heading in. And the airport's going to be coming up soon. so I really need to get this down. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm on the glide path, so I suppose I don't need to worry about that anymore. So we're going to turn a little bit. You can see when we hit birdie, you know, we're clearly going to be above 4,000. But we are on the glide path, so I feel a little more comfortable with that. You know, I don't know how long it takes the cabin crew to secure the cabin. But we obviously want to give them time to do that. Alright, so I'm going to get some more flaps out here. Now, you know what, I'm going to go back one, because I think it's too much, but we're turning a bit here. So, there we go. Now we've got the approach locked in. So everything for the ILS is where it should be. So we need to be above 3,000 at Lucy, or Lussy, or whatever you want to call it. And that is, you know, 13 miles, and we probably still have 15 miles to go from there. So we're probably a good 30 miles out from the airport still. So not expecting to be able to see anything yet, but kind of getting a good look at the ground. You know, you'd have to kind of look at this approach in the other format of Microsoft Flight Simulator to see if it's, you know, giving you what you'd expect or what you're seeing. But yeah, it's definitely loading images is what the software is showing me. So, you know, I'm assuming it knows where I'm going, and, you know, all of that is worked out because it just, you know, keeps loading and loading and loading images. Alright, now at this point, alright, I should be at 189, so we're gonna slow down some here. Alright, let's see what we've got. They're probably secure.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Everything is secured, ready for landing.
I'll call you when you need to be seated.
No problem.
Alright, so we got the points for secure. It's probably 10 minutes. Alright, and probably once I get to Lussy, I think will be a good time, because then we've got, what? 2, 4... We've got like 10 nautical miles. But that gives them some time to just, you know, do what they need if somebody's got something going on. It's not going to be very long, but... And then at EDOV, we want to be 168, and then we're basically going to be landing at 132, or getting down to 132, and at that point we'll certainly have, you know, full flaps deployed and all of that. Alright. So I'm going to slow this down. Now I'm going to go down to flaps 5. So I think the airport's like down here somewhere. Alright, we are probably close enough.
Cabin crew, please take seats for landing.
Alright, there we go. So we got that. And that again is, you know, 100 points for that. So it's always good to get lots of points. Alright, and if I go out now, let's go out there. I'm not sure what... Oh, this is my heading bug, I see, I think. Yeah. So if I get that more online of what I need, then that would work a little better. So you can see the runway lights there. We're going to put down our gear. So get all that coming out a little bit earlier than we need, but it's alright. It'll help us with slowing down. So yeah, we'll go here, get ourselves to 10, maybe even 20, just to make sure. Okay, so at EDOV we want to be above 2700. Just seems like we're way up here. I don't know. Because I almost feel like I want to go a little bit lower. I mean, what I didn't do is I probably should look at the airport height here. What is it? It's 129, 130 feet, so... I mean, again, with 3,500 feet, I should be okay. I'm going to get my landing monitor up before I panic, because that tends to be what happens. Alright, so now we want to be at 132. So we will do that. And at this point, I will get my flaps out to 30 shortly, because that's 25. One more will get us to 30. And that should give us a good flight level. But once again, just taking a quick peek. You know, I'd say that looks pretty good compared. You know, you don't have as many of the blocky buildings. You've got kind of different textures on the grass. We're below 2,500. I mean, so we definitely need to be paying attention to our landing here. But we are now, well, I guess we're Pigpen 1 mile. And then I think that's technically the start. Yeah, see, Pigpen's 5.7 miles away, so we're a lot further away than it seems. Like, I would say I feel like I'm like 2 miles away and I need to be down at 1,000 feet, but clearly that's not the case. So, you know, we're following the glide path. Again, we're supposed to be above 2,000, I think, at Pigpen, which we were. Not sure. Oh, I see 179 must be the kind of the runway top where we want to be at. But I don't know. Yeah, this one doesn't have the 2 autopilots. It doesn't work that way in the Boeing. Again, I get the Airbus and the Boeing a little bit mixed up sometimes. You know, and again, if I'm above 600 feet or 800 feet a minute, in theory, for Walker, that counts. But, you know, and there is nothing about running off the runway in Walker. It would be for self-loading cargo if we leave the surface. That's a bad thing. Alright, 1,200 feet. We're still over 3 miles away. Yeah, we're coming in nice and slow, because again...
Walker 4021, contact Oakland Center 132.2. Have a good day.
Oakland Center 132.2, Walker 4021. Oakland Center, landing runway 32, Walker 4021. It's going to be like, what are you doing?
Walker 4021, stay altitude.
800 feet, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, Oakland Center, roger.
All right.
500.
All right, well, we're doing okay in theory. We'll see if it shuts off or what it tells us. Man, it is like diving, it feels like.
Sync rate. Sync rate. 100.
What is happening and why?
30. 20.
Walker 4021, turn right, heading 340.
10.
Walker 4021.
That was
turn
insane.
Right, heading 340.
I did not like that. I really shouldn't be going backwards on the runway. Holy moly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination.
That is why I
Please
did
remain
not
seated
want
with your
to,
seatbelt fasten until the aircraft is parked and the fasten seatbelt sign is off.
that is why I did not want...
Oakland Center.
As items
Calm down,
may
Oakland
fall during the
Center.
flight, our staff will help you complete your walker journey. And if you need any help, please don't hesitate to ask.
Oakland Center, Walker
And
4021.
all the team, we thank you so much for choosing
Negative,
flying with
turn
Walker
right,
Air
heading
Transport.
340.
We hope to see you again soon and wish you a pleasant stay.
Heading
Thank you.
340, Walker 4021. See, so it wanted me to come in the other way. Obviously, I didn't. Alright, so at this point, like, ignoring what it's saying is really what I need to be doing, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. Once that happens, we will start deboarding, and you'll be able to leave the aircraft.
No, I don't know if I landed going up, because it's not showing me negative 137. It's showing me 137, which sometimes can happen, but, because in essence you're like almost ascending again for a second. But yeah, like this is not quite what we need. So I'm imagining again, this is a small airport. It may not have good airport data. I didn't hear anybody scream and yell. So I think it gave us credit amazingly. But that was, I mean, I guess it shows you can land this pretty short, because I probably lost half the runway at least before I touched down and still managed to somehow keep that thing from running off. Now, some of it was the fact that I was only going 132 knots, and, you know, once you get down to like 70 or 60, you're kind of able to start turning off the runway and stuff. So that certainly helped, but that was a bit of crazy train. I didn't like that. I'll be right up front. I did not like that. I was like, I mean, and I really probably should have gone around. I mean, if we're all being honest, I mean, that was terrible. But I don't have time. Of course, that's how people die, right? Let's see. Going 19. So, doing okay that way. But yeah, we're not getting taxi directions or anything, because, I mean, I'm heading... No, I'm not heading 340. I don't know where it thinks I am, but at this point I'm sure it's lost. So I think we've got a Continental, we've got an American, we've got an Alaska. So I'm just gonna head in right here, and we're gonna park right there where that ground power unit is, whether they like it or not. But that is where I am going. So, gonna get ourselves in here. Gonna turn the engines down. Whoops, no, 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 I do not want to go into reverse thrust. There we go. Alright, turn on the parking brake. And I think, I don't know that there's any, nope, no PA system yet. So we're going to turn off the engines. We're going to open the seatbelt. Alright, so we're clear to deboard.
Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please open the doors when ready. You're clear to begin deboarding.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Alright, we are loud and clear.
You're loud and clear. 5 over 5.
Roger. Okay, Captain. Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes.
Roger.
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed your flight today, and I'd like to wish you a safe
talking over
home
my
journey.
air crew.
We'll see you again soon. Thank you for flying with us.
Any assistance. We wish you a pleasant onward journey.
Alright, well, we had a great landing. According to self-loading cargo, it was negative 298, so almost 300, but 1.12 Gs. Alright, so we did that. We just need to unload. And then we don't really need to wait for all the baggage and all of that, but at this point, you know, we are here. Oh, I can go ahead and get my flaps up. I always forget to do that until I see them. But
cockpit to ground.
I should be able to get like ground power or something. They're busy. They're like, we're not coming.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Disregard.
Roger.
Okay. So it just gave me an offloading update. I think they'll tell me about the ground power later. Alright. Can turn this off. What kind of fuel did we end up with? 5.9, so not terrible, but alright, so we got that off. Let's just get back here. Alright. Can turn the strobe off. All of that. I think the pressure got okay. Wow. This is my best flight ever. Okay, I think we're done.
Hi. We're all done back here. Everyone's offloaded. Brilliant landing, by the way. We barely felt anything.
You're very welcome.
Just give me a buzz if you need anything.
Okay.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Alright.
Let's remind you of your using software to track your virtual airline flight. You may want to finalize your flight now if you haven't already done so.
Yep, which it did, so that's good.
Roger.
Got the vacuum back there, they're cleaning up. Alright, so I'd say this is excellent. I got an A. I didn't even lose 100 points in total. So, wow. So I had a couple points of negative G-forces. Like, this is by far the best flight I've seen, for sure. Boarding and landing, we did everything. Pushback, everything. Taxi, everything. Takeoff, everything. Alright, so we lost some points on the accurate descent information, so that's 75 of our points right there. Everything else was perfect. So if I had waited, I probably still would have lost this. I don't know that there's a way to get those 50 points, but this is by far, and again, we were 20 minutes early. So remember, I was talking about the likelihood of that, so we were expected at 23:05, planned 23:10, and again, that's because we left 5 minutes early, and then, we arrived 20 minutes early. So this would be a situation maybe, especially at a small airport like this, where they might not even have the gate ready, and we might have had to wait, and so forth. But, everything great. So, hopefully you've enjoyed this. The cleaning crew is done. They're still unloading the luggage. But, I'm going to wrap things up at this point. If you have enjoyed this, I know it was still pretty long. But again, tell me what you want me to include in these. Is it enjoyable to have everything like this and just fly along and do most of it? I mean, again, obviously I still cut out like 2 hours in the middle that you would have had, because the next flight is even longer than this one. But again, we're going to a bigger airport, so it should be less hair-raising on the other end.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Okay, all bags have been offloaded. We're closing up now. We'll see you next time.
Roger.
So, all of those things obviously don't go into the score. Alright, so at this point I'm going to exit self-loading cargo. So that will get rid of that. It'll make it quieter, too. But yeah, let me know, is it too much? What are you thinking? But the next one, we're heading to a major airport. I forget where we're heading back, but it's like 1,700 instead of 1,600 miles, 1,800. So I think it's another couple hundred miles, but certainly if we've flown a 737 here, we're certainly going to do that on the way back. Either the 737 or the Airbus. We'll see. I'll probably do the 737 just because it'll be fresh in my mind. But if you've enjoyed this and haven't dropped a like, oh, nice cars, please consider doing that. That definitely helps with the channel and the reach and what we've got going on here. And if you are not a subscriber yet, please consider that. That'll let you be notified of things that come to the channel. And I will see you next time.